pro piano. I hope one day I'll be able to use you for a video. But not again, because today we are explaining consonance and dissonance. There's a couple words in the English language I cannot say. Consonants? I don't know. So what are they? I've said them a couple times in a couple of these videos, which you may have heard. You probably heard some musicians say them. Or maybe you use the word yourself and you don't really know what it means. In approximately 2 minutes, you will. Consonance is basically something that sounds pleasing. And dissonance is basically something that doesn't. Consonance is when you have a nice little major scale. It sounds so pretty. Every single note is a perfect distance apart. Your C, your E, and then your G. That sounds super duper pretty. It makes sense. It's so pleasing to the ear and it just sounds nice. It's just something to do with the hertz and the world. It's just like, I'm not sure about the exact scientific reason on why the notes sound nice. They just do. And when something sounds nice and like easy and pleasing and perfect, we call that consonance. So you might be thinking, why would we choose something that sounds gross? Why would we have dissonance? A good example of dissonance, if you're wondering, is your tritone, which I've talked about before, is my favorite interval in music. There you go up to this note, your G flat. So this into the C to G flat. This is super dissonant. This is the most dissonant. These two notes, and not specifically the C and the G flat, but this specific distance of semitones is the furthest you can get away from two notes. And for some reason, it just has this very edgy and crunchy and like, kind of feeling to it. And it's amazing. I love it for that. Consonance is anything that makes you go, ooh, nice. Like, it's easy. It's like a good Sunday morning. It's like a little really sweet cake, you know? Whereas dissonance is the spice. Dissonance is the salt. Why would we have dissonance in music? Why don't we just have everything sound super nice and super complete? Well, music in essence, and I hate using this terminology, but it's true. Music is built on tension and release. Couple notes in quick succession and then a long note. Tension, quick notes, release, the long note. You're playing these kind of slightly more, you're playing your tritones, and then you get back to your C, and it sounds super duper nice. It sounds sweet. You're back to where you want to be, your consonants. That's how it's built. You need the dissonance for the consonants to sound good. It's like, sugar is good and all. Having a little sweet cake is nice. But if you were just having like a plain vanilla sponge cake with plain vanilla icing every single day, sure, it tastes nice. But it's not very interesting. I've had it described to me as like a sandwich. If your consonants is like the bread. And maybe like one slice of the worst tasting cheese possible. It's fine. But it's not very interesting, you know? It's just, it's a sandwich, like whatever. You know, you need the dissonance, you need the stuff that sounds a little bit not so good to make the sandwich taste nice. And this is my issue with lots of music is very much built on consonants. And this is why I don't really like the major chord, because major chords and the major scale are very, very consonant. They just sound like perfect, incredible, and like a plain vanilla cake. And it's like, come on, man. Give us some spice. Give us some tritone. That's what I'm talking about. So now, when you're talking about your favorite songs, your favorite music, you could be like, oh, that sounded really nice. It sounded really consonant. Oh, dissonance. I love a bit of dissonance. You know, you can sound really intelligent. And then if you want to sound even more like you know what you're talking about, you can use tension release, or that little bit of dissonance they used, the tritone and the minor seventh, and then they resolved it back to the tonic. Oh, that was really nice. Good tension and release. If you say those things, people will think you know what you're talking about. More importantly, musicians will think you know what you're talking about. Which, God forbid, a musician thinks you're an idiot. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped you understand what consonance and dissonance is, and if it didn't, maybe watch the video again or Google it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye.